This bad boy you see in front of you here is the German military's answer to the iconic US military K Ration. My name's Darren. I'm a former US Army NCO, Cavalry Scout, Iraq War veteran, and I'm here to review military rations from around the world, as well as civilian market, commercially available, camping, survival, and dehydrated foods. Trust me, I'm a guy who knows a little something about food. This is a new channel, but not my first channel. This will be the one and only time I beg you to subscribe, so please consider subscribing. This single box ration was meant as a supplement to either the German iron ration or hot chow as it was available. This was a late war German invention, and it was primarily used on the Eastern Front. This is a reproduction. There are no original examples of this still in existence. The German military was not known to have a lot of respect for the US military. They did have a lot of respect for the K Ration and thought it would be a perfect add to the German Wehrmacht. This ration, I believe, is known by the name Kampf Packen, or Grand Battle Pack, which is a terribly ironic name for it because it is not a complete ration, nor is it very grand. We all know that hot chow on the Eastern Front was a pretty liberal term and could mean anything from a couple of mouthfuls of horse meat stew to nothing at all for days at a time. So I imagine putting myself in the shoes of the average grenadier or Schutzen in the Wehrmacht. Receiving one of these must have been a real treat. Written right on the front here are the words, Nur für Frontkämpfer in Infanterieverband. Only for frontline infantry troops. So right away we see where the Germans want to spend their calories. Sorry for all you rear echelon mother effers and pogues and everybody else who's not a frontline infantryman. You get jack squat. Find your calories someplace else. Maybe a third of a kilo, less than a pound, probably closer to half a pound. It's tiny. It will definitely fit in a cargo pocket, or you could easily throw it in a rucksack. Now, the original supposedly came in a cardboard package that felt more like a cigarette pack. It was packaged by a cigarette company. Let's crack it open and get a look inside. Has a very unique closure system. Alright, so opening it up, right on the top here, we've got Wehrmacht Schokolade. Chocolate flaneur. Chocolade flaneur. Interesting. 50-gram chocolate bar. Not bad. We have a Fleische Fruchtgel. This fruit bar was actually handmade using the original recipe by the company that's making these reproductions. This is 80 grams, and you can imagine that this is totally natural, containing no preservatives. Like food that you just can't get anymore. Things were just much less processed back in those days. On the back it says Wilhelm Fleische, Leipzig. And on the side here, Herstgestellt, June 1941. We have a pack of Jupiter matches. This is the type of matches that strike on the inside. Original Jupiter, Zunholzer. The reproduction does not have any tobacco in it, but apparently the original did have a 6-pack of German cigarettes. Deli Drops. Deli Schokoladenwerk KG. So this came from a chocolate maker. A craft paper wrapped mystery package here. I'm going to assume this is chewing gum, known to the Krauts as Kaugummi. Craft paper on the outside, wax paper on the inside. It's not gum. I don't think it's gum anyway. Some other kind of chocolate confection of some sort or another. And last but not least, a small package of biscuits. Question is, are these cracker-like biscuits or are they cookie-like biscuits? We'll soon find out. Okay, let's get this organized. So this is it. Positively Spartan. Definitely not a complete ration, but it would have been a nice addition to other types of German rations, like the iron ration or some hot chow. Again, putting myself in the shoes of your average grenadier who's on the Eastern Front, it's late in the war. You're freezing your ass off. You're in a constant state of retreat. You're terrified because at any moment the Ivans might come out of that wood line and come charging towards your trenches. And you're starving. So getting this would have been a rare and very welcome treat. I can absolutely imagine that. From a caloric standpoint, there's not much here. I'd put it at maybe 500, 700 calories. But the cigarettes and the sugar would have been a welcome change from bread and coffee. Or horse meat stew, for that matter. All right, well, since this one's already open, let's check out these chocolate doohickeys here. Breaks off fairly easily. Looks like there's some kind of nougat type stuff in the middle there. Let's give it a try. Very chewy. And it's quite tasty. Kind of, it's got a little bit of a coffee flavor to the chocolate. Kind of reminds me of like a Three Musketeer bar if the outer chocolate was much thicker and chewy. You know what it's like? It's like a Tootsie Roll with like a sweetened whipped chocolate in the middle. It's not exactly nougat. It's not exactly anything that I can put my finger on from a modern candy perspective. But it's like a Tootsie Roll with a soft, sweet chocolate in the middle. Very good. Apologies if you're hearing some background noise. My co-pilot over there, Emerald, the Blue Crown Conure, is moving around in his cage and causing all kinds of a stir. You know, the thing that strikes me about this ration, and I'm glad that this chocolate has at least some coffee taste to it, is that there is no coffee in this ration. I mean, I think that's a terrible, terrible miss, not to have at least a hot chocolate, but ideally an instant coffee. Having this at least gives you the flavor of it. And again, this being a supplement, I guess the thinking was you could get a cup of coffee elsewhere. I'm gonna have another one of these. It's quite tasty. Really good. All right. Let's check out the Deli Drops. Shout out to the master ration reviewer, Steve 1989, who turned me on to MRE Mountain, which is where this came from. So I was thinking the Deli Drops were a gummy candy, but that is not the case. This is like a sugar-coated hard candy. Looks pretty interesting, like a Lifesaver, but without the hole. Let's check it out. That is exactly what it tastes like, a Lifesaver, but without the hole. Minimally processed, not overly sweet, very, very tasty. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. What I like best about this is this could easily just go right in a cargo pocket or a pocket. You could save that for later, which is exactly what I'm going to do. All right, it's time to take a look at these biscuits here and try to get a sense of, are these cracker biscuits or are they cookie biscuits? If they're cracker biscuits, I'm gonna miss not having any cheese or peanut butter for them. If they're cookie biscuits, I'm gonna miss not having a cup of coffee with them. Same as the Tootsie Roll type things. Craft paper on the outside, wax paper on the inside. I still don't think this would hold up 2 minutes in a snowstorm. Butter Kicks. Well, I guess that might answer the question of what they taste like. Oop, it broke right into 4. Let's try a piece. Not bad. Definitely no salt. It's like an unsalted Ritz cracker. That's exactly what it tastes like, a Ritz cracker. Unsalted. I can definitely taste the butter in it, shortening, but no salt, no sweet. It's just bland enough that I would be equally happy to put cheese on it, or peanut butter, or just dunk it in my cup of coffee. I think it would go best in a cup of coffee. All right, not bad. Yes, peekaboo to you too, pint size. That brings us to the two main items in this ration, the fruit bar and the chocolate bar. Looks pretty interesting. It's got a sugar coating on it. It's bending under its own weight. Now, I have to imagine if you're in Russia in the winter and it's 40 degrees below zero out, that's not going to happen. This thing's going to be frozen hard as a rock. This would be an utter mess in the field. This is extremely sticky. You would definitely need a wet wipe after eating this. Maybe if it was frozen, it would be a little bit less so. There's no toilet paper. There are no wet wipes in this ration, so I could see this being a mess. Very little smell. I believe it's apple flavored. It's got a lot of sugar on it. Oh, wow. Shut the front door. That is delicious. Seems that my co-pilot agrees with me on that one. Do you agree? Peekaboo. It tastes, again, minimally processed, like the type of food that you just can't get anymore. You know, more like the way things were made in the 40s and 50s with less processing, less artificial ingredients. It is absolutely delicious. But I can tell you it doesn't have an overpowering apple taste. It's definitely apple and very sweet with all that sugar on it. But it does not stick to the teeth. I think it's wonderful. Yummy. I may just eat that whole thing. The taste is similar to like a fruit leather. If you've ever seen those like rolled up fruit leathers. Whatever it is, it's bloody delicious. Decent size too, although I could imagine this would not transport well. You could wrap this back up and put it back in the box, but even still, I don't think it would transport very well. All right, we're going to check out the last component of this ration, the Wehrmacht Schokolade 50-gram chocolate bar, number 290. No other real markings on the wrapper. It's that same kind of craft paper, just this one is red. Foil on the inside, which leads me to believe this is not handmade, period, authentic chocolate. They just wrapped another chocolate bar up in a wrapper. Well, it doesn't look like any type of chocolate I'm familiar with. I imagine they have stuff in Belarus that doesn't make it here to the US. Nice size piece. Looks more like dark chocolate than milk, but not a heavy-duty amount of cacao. I'm going to taste it. But I don't particularly care for this. It's somewhere between semi-sweet and milk chocolate. It has very little taste. You know what it tastes like to me? Cheap chocolate. If you're starving, it's Russian winter. Ivan may be coming out of that wood line at any moment now. I think it's better than nothing. Without the cigarettes included in this ration, I see no reason to light any of these matches, so I'm gonna save these for another day. So overall opinion of this ration is that any Wehrmacht grenadier that ever got their hands on one of these must have thought it was a rare, delicious treat. I mean, it's positively decadent. The amount of sugar that is in that ration is just incredible. And it would be a good supplement to some other form of hot chow, especially if that hot chow is kind of lacking. Eating something like that is likely only to arouse your appetite without putting it to bed. You get a quick burst of energy, and then you're gonna be like exhausted and starving. As an answer to the US military K ration, I find it wanting. As its own standalone piece and supplement to other German chow, yeah, I bet that was a great treat to get. If you want to see me actually review the pinnacle of World War II food science, the US military K ration, check out this video here. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Peace!